What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios, back at it with another debate video. Today's debate video, we're going to be talking about Snow Godzilla versus Shin Biollante. So here's the plan. We're going to go over the backstory, characteristics, basically all the specs of Snow Godzilla, and then we'll follow that same idea with Shin Biollante. Once we're done with both of these kaijus, basically when we're done dissecting them, we'll put them up against each other in a death battle, best out of two, and I'll go way more into detail when we get there. So without further ado, let's begin with the backstory of Snow Godzilla. So, Snow Godzilla is a creature that lives in a different dimension, and when Konbu Tunnel has released a large amount of glowing particles that created a chain reaction and sent Snow Godzilla to the location of where the film took place. So basically, Snow Godzilla comes from these particles that he travels from dimension to dimension. That's his big backstory behind the anime. And his abilities, I'm actually going to skim over them. And we're going to finish off Snow Godzilla. Before we move on to Shin Biollante, we'll do a deep analysis of each ability, so don't worry. But for now, I'm going to quickly skim over them. Abilities goes as follows. Massive amounts of strength, atomic breath, regeneration, and teleportation. Territorial level is medium, aggression level is indeed maximum, and Biome can survive in different dimensions. Height is 118.5 meters tall. Alright, let's go back to the abilities and let's do a deep analysis and see what these really are. So, the first one we have is massive amounts of strength. Now obviously, looking at his brute size and brute strength, that proves everything. He's very, very strong. Standing at approximately 118.5 meters tall, he's gonna have a lot of muscle mass, a lot of strong, heavy bone tissue, meaning he's gonna have a lot of power packed into his body, and therefore he has massive amounts of strength. Now, he does have atomic breath just like any other Godzilla. It obviously is not the most powerful atomic breath of any Godzilla, but it is up there being a powerful amount of atomic breath, right? We can argue which Godzilla has the most powerful atomic breath, which it's either 1984, Legendary, Shin Godzilla. We could have a video on that, but right now we're not debating on that, but indeed he does have a powerful atomic breath. I'm not going to deny that. Next we have regeneration. So actually Snow Godzilla can regenerate some of his health. It's not on the fastest pace, but he can do it. Meaning if he does get hurt at some point into his battle or recovery, he will regenerate his health, which is a very, very important thing, especially when you're fighting a hard opponent like Shin Biollante. After this we have teleportation. Now this is taking into consideration if the glowing particles are always present, and we're going to assume that they are. He can actually teleport from place to place due to these glowing particles, and that's such a good ability because you can teleport from place to place or dimension to dimension when you're battling a monster. Let's say if he wanted to, let's say, quit a battle, which I doubt he ever would, but hypothetically speaking, he could teleport to a different dimension and call it a quits. But if he wanted to continue battling, he could teleport to behind the creature and sneak attack, right? That's a very, very powerful ability. Alright folks, this pretty much sums up Snow Godzilla. Alright, let's go and talk about Shin Biollante. Now, Shin Biollante came into existence when the coagulant that was sprayed into Shin Godzilla's mouth right before he froze, one of the small humanoids was able to fall off the tail before all of them froze. From a long fall, the humanoid was bleeding and looked for a place to rest, and happened to come across a field of roses, and thought that they could be food. The humanoid started eating all of the roses, and his DNA mixed with all the roses he had devoured, including the blood he spilled on the ones he didn't eat. The roses came alive and decapitated the humanoid, pretty gruesome, and formed Shin Biollante. Now, the height of Shin Biollante is going to be approximately 252 meters tall. She's a big girl. Abilities, I'm going to skim over them right now. Spiked atomic lasers, 10,000 tentacles, tentacle poison laser, regeneration, instant adaptation, false heart trap. Territorial level is high, aggression level is low, and biome is unlimited. Alright, now, I'm gonna give a quick disclaimer. If you're a returning viewer on the debate series, you'll notice the aggression level and some of the abilities will be a bit tweaked and different. The reason for that is to fit the opponent she's battling, Snow Godzilla. The abilities are going to have the same names, but their functionalities may be different. The aggression levels might be tweaked here and there versus other videos. That's just a quick disclaimer I want to give. Anyways, let's go back to the abilities. Let's do a deep analysis. We have the spiked atomic laser. Basically, having Shin DNA, we know that Shin Godzilla, at his original form, can actually shoot lasers out of his body. Now, when it comes to the Shin Biollante, she has that same DNA in her and that same functionality, where all over her body, she can shoot spiked atomic laser. So it's not just an atomic laser, but she's also a rose. And a rose has these small thorns, right? The spikes all over their bodies. And imagine an atomic laser, but with big amounts of thorns getting shot at you. That's a spiked atomic laser. Very powerful ability. Super powerful ability, actually. Next, you have 10,000 tentacles. So as Shin Biollante went through this change, she got mutated. And instead of having 4 tentacles, as the original one does, this one has 10,000 tentacles. And they all have teeth, and are all capable of ripping flesh apart. Now, not only is it 10,000 tentacles and they're able to rip flesh apart, there's something called tentacle poison laser. And these tentacles, 10,000 tentacles, each 10,000 of them have poison. And it's called tentacle poison laser. And what this poison does is it actually numbs the opponent of feeling any pain. And that's very detrimental to the opponent because they're not going to know when to go to defensive mode or when to back off. Because Shin Biollante can be just slapping the opponent with crazy abilities, and the opponent's not going to know if they're getting hurt. And that's bad. That's one of the biggest ways to get killed. Oh yeah. Now, next we have regeneration. As Shin Godzilla can regenerate, and Shin DNA is in this creature, so Shin Biollante can indeed regenerate. We also have the instant adaptation. We know that Shin Godzilla has many forms. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. We didn't really see Form 1 in the film, but we saw Form 2 change to Form 3, change to Form 4, and that was examples of him evolving and adapting to the situation. And Shin Biollante has that DNA of instant adaptation, adapting. That would take years, if not millions of years of adapting, does it within mere minutes or just seconds. And Shin Biollante can adapt to situations, adapt abilities, or opponent's abilities to fit hers, which is very scary for the opponent. Finally, we have the most incredible ability of all time. We have the false heart trap. Now, as you know, Biollante has a big red bulge in the middle of her stomach, and you could say that's her heart. Now, this is the evolved version of Biollante, known as Shin Biollante, and actually, that's not her heart anymore. Her real heart is next to her brain and the head, right? And with that being said, most opponents are going to think that that's actually the heart. And when they shoot at it, what that does, it's a false heart trap. So it actually mirrors the opponent. So it reflects. Let's say if Godzilla were to use an atomic breath on that false heart trap, it would actually mirror off and reflect back, and the atomic would come right back to Godzilla. Or any ability that they use. It's a mirror blast, basically. Alright, folks. Now, let's move on to the battle, because this sums up both creatures. Let's talk about the battle. Now, we're going to go best out of two. Close range and far range. Now, we need to talk about this. The reason why we do far range and close range is because of this. Far range is going to test the abilities out in a cutoff range. To limit their abilities, we're trying to see what kaiju would win and what would lose, and trying to see if they still could be powerful. And close range is just all out. So we're gonna go back to Snow Godzilla. We'll see what abilities he can and cannot use when it comes to far range. Now, before I do say that, these creatures have to be a part of 700 meters. They cannot come closer to that. That's the only rule. Okay, massive amounts of strength. Well, he could use this as a defensive ability, but not offensive, because he can't. Remember, he can't get close to Shin Biollante. 700 meters apart. Atomic breath, sure. Regeneration, sure. Teleportation, on a very different scenario, he can use. He can actually teleport from place to place, left to right, as long as he doesn't get 700 meters close to Shin Biollante. Right? Alright. Basically, what he can really use for offensive is the atomic breath. That's all he can use. Now, going into Shin Biollante, dun dun dun. Let's see what she can and cannot use in a far range battle. Spiked atomic laser, yes. 10,000 tentacles? Well, not really. Can't reach 700 meters. Tentacle poison laser? No. The poison laser from the tentacles will not reach that far. Regeneration? Sure. Is it adaptation? Sure, of course. False heart trap? No. Will not work in this debate battle. In the far range. So basically she can use the spiked atomic laser. Alright? In all instances. Now, she can adapt though. So let's go into the battle. I'm gonna be assuming that Godzilla will be the first one to initiate this battle, and will shoot the atomic breath, because basically that's what he can do only right now. And he'll shoot the atomic breath at Shin Biollante. And it's obviously going to aggravate. If anything, it's gonna really piss off. Yes, it's not gonna scare her, it's gonna aggravate her. And she's gonna come at him with a spiked atomic laser, and it's gonna start ripping the flesh off of Snow Godzilla. Because remember, this is not only an atomic laser, which lasers are very powerful, it's also thorns of a big, massive thorns of roses inside of the laser, and it's gonna cause a lot of damage. And as these two creatures are going at it, obviously the spiked atomic laser is a bigger mass and more powerful than Snow Godzilla's atomic breath at the moment, because it's so much more lasers at one point, and it's technically Shin Godzilla's laser, advanced now. At one point, Shin Biollante can actually adapt to a way where her skin is actually not taking damage from Snow Godzilla's atomic breath, and it's going to lead to a point where Shin Biollante is just beating him up with the spiked atomic laser, and therefore Shin Biollante will be the winner of far range, leaving her at 1-0 and causing Snow Godzilla to be at 0. Okay folks, let's go into the one we've all been waiting for, the close range all out. Let's see who's gonna win. So let's take this into consideration. Snow Godzilla is approximately 118.5 meters tall, where Shin Biollante is a massive, staggering 252 meters tall. So that's a big amount, right? Big amount. Now, all abilities are open. They can use whatever they want, and Snow Godzilla has a good amount of abilities on his side now. He has massive amounts of strength. Yes, Shin Biollante is bigger than Snow Godzilla, but remember, Snow Godzilla has massive amounts of strength. So when Shin Biollante comes to their 10,000 tentacles and wraps them all up, Snow Godzilla is gonna start ripping those tentacles right out of Shin Biollante's body, right out of it, because he's super strong, and he's gonna keep on making sure he's regenerating any damage taken. And he's gonna start using the atomic breath all over her body. He's gonna start ripping, blasting her body, right? Yes, she does have Shin DNA in her, which causes her skin to be much more stronger than a regular Biollante, but she still has Rose DNA, which causes some weakness, obviously. Can't debate on that. And he's gonna start just ripping the flesh of Shin Biollante back and forth, And when Shin Biollante gets a good stance on him, boop, he's gonna teleport. He's gonna go behind Shin Biollante, so using Atomic Breath on Shin Biollante, and then teleport again, and use it again on Shin Biollante. Keep on going back and forth, back and forth. That's until Shin Biollante catches him on a corner and just explodes the spiked atomic laser, which is gonna cause Snow Godzilla to fall. And when that happens, well, folks, we can say the adaptation ability will come. She needs to evaluate him, and she can take that in. She can take the information of Snow Godzilla in, and again, make herself immune to the atomic breath. Now, she can't teleport, and I don't think she'll ever be able to adapt to teleport because it's biologically impossible. But I think if she gets if she gets Snow Godzilla on the ground, and Snow Godzilla starts using atomic breath on the false heart trap, what's gonna happen is the atomic breath is gonna be mirrored right back to Snow Godzilla, ripping him apart. But who is to say he still doesn't teleport back and forth? So I think, personally, if he keeps on teleporting, he will be able to kill Shin Biollante, leaving it at 1-1 from the close range at a tie. Meaning we're gonna go to overtime. So it's gonna happen in overtime. Just pure abilities. That's it. We're not gonna rate off of each opponent. So let's go to the abilities. Snow Godzilla has massive amounts of strength, atomic breath, regeneration, and teleportation. Shin Biollante has the spiked atomic laser, 10,000 tentacles, tentacle poison laser, regeneration, instant adaptation, and false heart trap. Now, this is a hard one because both of these monsters have really good abilities, where Shin Biollante has incredible adaptation abilities, spiked atomic lasers, and then Snow Godzilla actually has teleportation, which is such a powerful ability. So off of my opinion, personally, I'm gonna have to go with Snow Godzilla because the teleportation is a game changer for me. Anyways, this is just my opinion. You could debate me in the comment section below, but this is it. It's gonna be 2-1 for Snow Godzilla due to overtime. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please consider subscribing if you're not already. Thank you so much, and as always, have a wonderful day.